Hi, welcome back to Enlightened Maven. We are going to do our second video for the day, talking about the House passing the law prohibiting future oil and gas bans. Now, there hasn't been an executive order at this point that I could see this. So this is in the House. So we are going to be taking a look at Congress.gov, but we are going to watch the Fox News and do a little quote unquote fact checking ourselves to take a look and see what exactly this law is and what it exactly does. So I have the video. We're gonna finish watching it. The last video I did included a portion of the video, but this one we'll watch the whole thing through. So give me a second here. Let me go.
We're back. It's the big weekend show, and it's time now for the Big Four. Our picks for the biggest stories that we think you guys should be following over the course of the week. And I will go first with this story. Republican donors reportedly warming up to the idea of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' wife, Casey DeSantis, running for her husband's position in 2026. So Ron DeSantis, the sitting governor, will be term limited. Very popular Republican down there. Of course, won a huge re-election in 2022. But who would come next? I know there's a number of people rumored to have their eye on the prize, apparently including maybe the current first lady of the state of Florida, former news anchor, very good communicator, very sharp, right? Cancer survivor, young mother. There's a lot of appeal there, and we'll see what happens if she even wants it. But those rumors have been percolating here for a little while.
I guess it depends on what their White House plans are, maybe.
There's also that. They've got to wait a while, though. They got to wait a while either way. Joey?
All right, listen, this one's important to me. As you know, I'm a Second Amendment absolutist. I believe that your ability to protect yourself, your right to protect yourself is uncompromised. So President Trump, he's going to keep a campaign promise on this topic. He just signed a new executive order to protect and expand Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens. What this executive order does is it directs the Attorney General to look at all the policies from past administrations, specifically the Biden administration, and say any of them that unnecessarily or, in his opinion, unlawfully restricted Americans' right to possess a firearm, that they get struck down, they get removed. This is great. In the nuance, the ATF, the NFA items have been a lot faster in recent weeks. There's a lot of things already heading in the right direction. And it may be nuanced to some people, but it's a part of my life, and I'm glad it's happening.
Well, I have something that I need to discuss that might be right up there with the executive order that you just discussed, Joey. President Trump says he's going to reverse Joe Biden's mandate to phase out plastic straws, saying, guys, on Truth Social, quote, enjoy your next drink without a straw that disgustingly dissolves in your mouth. And all I have to say is if I hear one Democrat complain about this, I'm going to lose my mind, because we all can agree this is an item that I don't think there's any dispute over. Paper straws do not work.
They're terrible.
We need to go back to plastic, not to mention it has been proven that the paper straws have forever chemicals in them. They are not good for you either. So let's put this to bed.
This made me laugh. I thought it could be another one of those 80-20 issues for President Trump where he slides in with the easy victory on. All right, now this one's mine. The House just passed new legislation that will prohibit future presidential administrations from banning oil and gas drilling without congressional approval. So it's making a big move here. It's unlikely to go too far in the Senate. We don't know how it's going to go. But symbolically, moving forward, this sends a message right now. Remember, one of the very first things that President Trump did when he got into office in this inaugural speech was talk about drill, baby, drill, declared a national energy emergency. So this is part of a long-term effort to secure the ability of an all-energy approach. And we'll see how that develops over the course of this presidency.
I think I have to, as conservative, I have to applaud any action by Congress to assume responsibility back on an issue.
Yes, assert itself.
Yeah,
for once, it's been a long time coming.
Why wouldn't the Senate Republicans support that? Well, I guess Democrats won't.
Yeah. That'd be the issue.
All right, fabulous 2 hours there. That does it for us right now. But we will see you back here live. We're coming back at 10 p.m. Eastern for an additional extended edition of the big weekend show.
All right. So they are saying that they signed a policy or a law into going up to, I guess, the Senate, and it should prohibit all banning of gas and oil without congressional approval. So, in other words, the president can't sign just an executive order to ban those things. It just snap of a fingers. It needs to go through the process, is what they signed for. So let's go to congress.gov. I don't know why I like to put an E on the end of that. Okay. Let's see what it has for the top 10. I'm sure it'll probably be in here. Terminate Department of Education. Save. Huh. I don't know which one it is. Let's see. It's workplace standards. That's not it. All right. Let's do this way. So they said it passed the House. Search. Latest action. Let's see if we can find it. Credit Union Board Modernization Act, Housing Unhoused Disabled Veterans Act, protect small businesses from excessive paperwork. Oh, that would be nice. China Exchange Rate Transparency Act, Chinese Currency Accountability, Halt Fentanyl, Protecting American Energy. Maybe it's this one? What do you think? I think it's this one, maybe. Well, look at this one. This one might be it, but not quite. Unless this is what they're talking about. It's introduced on 1/3/25 by Rep. August from Texas. Passed the House. Protecting American Energy Production Act. In this, it is the sense of Congress that the states should maintain primacy for the regulation of hydraulic fracturing, fracturing for oil and natural gas production on state and private lands. 2. Prohibition of declaration of a memorandum, I can't pronounce that word, on hydraulic fracturing. Notwithstanding any other provision of law, the president may not declare a moratorium, something like that, on the use of hydraulic fracking unless such moratorium is authorized by an act of Congress. So the president can't limit hydraulic fracking, cannot stop hydraulic fracking. It would have to go through Congress. And shockingly, that's all the bill. That's it. Now, I say shockingly because generally they're really, 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 really long. Okay. Let's just go double check and make sure there's not another bill floating around. I'm pretty sure that's the only one, and that's the one that they're talking about. Eradication Control Reauthorization Act of 2025. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Lincoln Riley Act, fix our forests, illegitimate court counteraction act. Born Alive, Abortion Survivors Protection Act, Wounded Knee Massacre Memorial Sacred Site Act, Sharked Act. Okay. Acres Act, Map Waters Act of 2025. Yeah, I'm not seeing another one. That has to be the one. Looks like it's putting the power back into the states. There's a lot of things it seems to be that this administration is doing to put the things back in the states' hands. Um, I don't have a problem with that. I don't know why any of you would have a problem with that. What does the federal government know for me and what's in my life? You know, some people who actually have these things on their private land have had them for a very long time, and there's standards. And in case most of you did not know, gas is actually a byproduct of drilling for oil. There's nothing extra to that. If they don't house it and they don't send it for people to use, it just goes right back into our atmosphere and dissolves with the rest of the gases. So it's just kind of a waste. Why not use the free byproduct of oil if we're going to continue drilling for oil because machines need oil, factories need oil, oil is needed all over the place, then why shouldn't we take the use of the natural gas that is a byproduct from that? Um, the Amish use it. There's plenty of other societies that used it. We used to use it way back in the day before we, got electricity. And there's a really big debate on which is better, electricity or gas. But I will tell you, if the power goes out, how are you heating your home? How are you going to cook? You know, I was raised in the South and power went out all the time for tornadoes and hurricanes. But you know what? We had a gas stove and we could still feed ourselves. We could still boil water if there was flooding and we couldn't get out. Like, gas is so much more efficient in so many ways. Electric is efficient in so many ways also. So it really comes down to what works best for the individuals and their families. And if you take out one resource and you only leave one left, they're going to be able to jack the prices up on that one resource that's left because you don't have a choice but to accept it. So, for those of you who have high electric bills, think about the correlation between banning gas and drilling and things like that to the spike in your electric bill. What about the laws and the policies that have been passed in a couple of these states banning gas cars, making things electric, going electric for school buses, going electric for housing appliances? Um, I've been saying for years, all it takes is one blizzard to come through the north to a state like New York, who has decided to put policies and regulations into place that prevent new homes from being built with gas. It prevents, it's going to stop current housing from continuing with electric for gas and heat. All it's going to take is one snowstorm. One snowstorm for people to get trapped in their homes, the power to go out, and they not have a way to heat themselves. And something happens, and it's because of hypothermia, because they can't heat themselves. Okay? So, yeah, this is awesome, and we'll get into that subject another time. Um, we'll also get into carbon in the atmosphere, because supposedly, not global warming, but climate change. Climate changes all the time. It has since the creation of our Earth. It just depends on which scientific studies that you want to look at. But, all right, I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace, and you have a blessed day.